Hello, my name is Kaitlin Finan, and I am an instructor for Esri Training Services. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to teach you how you can start to configure a smart form in ArcGIS Field Maps. So here I'm already in the Field Maps web app, and I'm seeing some different web maps listed. I'm going to go ahead and click on my Venice Landmark Inventory map. And if I come down here to the content, this is where I'm seeing my editable layers. I would like to configure the form for my landmarks because this is the data my team is going to be collecting on the ground. So I click on landmarks, I'm first brought to the template, but I'd like to toggle over here to the form. This is where the smart form lives, and to start, I'm going to choose to convert my pop-up. When I do that, my attribute fields are brought in all in one group. So here I'm seeing my 10 attributes in one group. Let's start configuring the form. I'm going to click once on the group to rename it. And at first, I just want to collect some general information. So the name of this group is going to be general. Now, next, if I click on name, instead of just saying name, I can come over here and change the display name to more of a sentence. Who is collecting this data? I can also come down here and make it required. I want to know who it is that's collecting the data. Something else we can do is if we come down here to description, we can actually write a description property or like give the user a hint. So if I want to make sure I'm getting enough information here, I could write something like, please write a couple of sentences. And we're seeing that hint or description apply under the field. If we scroll down here to architectural type, I've already defined a list of values that the user can choose from for this field. By default, the input type is going to be this combo box where they'll get some drop downs. Instead, I would like to turn it into these radio buttons and not include the no value. So here you're seeing a preview of what that would look like. The last thing I'd like to focus on is adding conditional visibility to our form. So these last three values right here are only going to be relevant if the structure is actually existing. Over time, they might get destroyed, or maybe it's more of just a site. There's not an actual structure. So I want condition, percent standing, and material to only pop up if the existing field is equal to yes. So let's close out of the properties, and I'm going to start by grouping those attribute values together. So I'm going to double click group, and a new group comes up. I'll click once, and I'm going to rename this one details. And now I'd like to add those three fields to the new group. So I'll click on one, hold down shift to select multiple, and now I can click and drag those into my new group. Next, I'll click on the group, and over here I'm seeing the option to add conditional visibility. So I can add an expression that says, I only want this group to come up if this existing value is equal to yes. Let's go ahead and click Add Expression to see how that's done. So over here on the right, we already have some expressions typed out for us. I'm going to start with that by clicking here. So here, the domain name for my existing field, if it equals yes, that's when I want this group to show up. So this is an example of an arcade expression. Let's test it, and it looks like it's going to work. So let's go ahead and click OK. So at this point, I'm going to save the form. So now that you've seen how that's done on the back end, let's take a look at what this form would look like for our user. So here I am on my mobile device, ready to collect some data so we can preview the form. I'm going to go ahead and click to add a new landmark, and let's scroll up to take a look at the form. So first, we're seeing that general group. We're also seeing that sentence that we typed out for the name. If we go down a bit more, we're seeing our description. We're seeing the radio button input type. And the last thing we configured was that conditional visibility. So let's test that out. I'm going to go ahead and hit existing. And when I click yes, we should see that additional group appear. So let's go ahead and click yes, and it is indeed there. When I scroll down, I am now seeing the details. So those are just a few ways that you can start to configure your form. And now that you've seen how quick and simple it can be, I challenge you to try to configure the next form for your data collection experience. That's all I have for you, and thanks for watching.